So initially I was interested but skeptical about this new vampire game, but now I think I understand what the developers are trying to achieve. But there's still a few things that do worry me, so I want to go over it in this video. On the face of it, the Blood of the Dawnwalker combines the open world sandbox roleplay game of Skyrim, go anywhere and explore anything, with The Witcher's third-person combat. And that makes sense because it's also made by the ex-Witcher developers. Some of them left to create their own studio and then make this game. But the game actually goes far deeper in its non-linear storytelling. So you play as Cohen, who is a hybrid vampire. By the day you're a human swordsman and you're investigating, and then by the night you unlock your vampire power skill line, allowing you to teleport into a bat swarm, run up walls and drain enemies for power. Basically the vampire fantasy. But one of the main misunderstandings I had initially about this game was that you're thrown into this open world sandbox with just one objective, which is to rescue your family. But you only have 30 days to do it. Now, historically, I like to play games at my own pace. I like to level up my character, do all the crafting and things, and then progress the story whenever I feel like it, especially if it's an open world game that I get to explore. But the developers have now clarified that time is essentially frozen, so you have to actually decide to progress from day to nighttime and so on. And as I've read into it, I've realized that this is actually where the game gets even more interesting. Because not only does Cohen change from day to night, human to vampire, but the world also changes as well. And so exploring the locations at these different times will play out very differently in the gameplay. In fact, if the vampire faction knows who you are, you can then be wanted, which then makes doing things at nighttime or daytime a lot more difficult because they will know who Cohen is. In fact, if you choose not to be stealthy about things, you can then get wanted by the vampire faction early on, which then makes the gameplay even harder. Now, it is also possible to just go and rescue your family right at the start of the game with all 30 days left on the timer, but you'll obviously be extremely weak and ill-prepared, so you'll probably fail. But that gives you an idea of the sandbox element of this open world. You can go anywhere, you can do anything to gain the power and prepare for that main objective. And in that sense, all of these side quests are actually considered to be part of the main quest because they're all kind of intertwined in this web as time progresses. You can do different objectives and things that are going to make your final goal easier to achieve. But the game isn't going to tell you when or how you need to achieve it. And it was at this moment that I realized how much more interesting the concept of the Blood of the Dawnwalker actually is. But what really impressed me and got my attention is that in just 2 months, the developers have already reacted to viewer feedback and improved the combat and the camera angle. So now we're going to be comparing both the new and the old gameplay walkthrough side by side. And if you have any more feedback yourself or anything you want to see, leave it in the comments below because the developers actually do read to it and react to it. I mean, I've never seen a developer react so quickly to feedback and make those changes that the players wanted to see. And they were good changes. Let's take a look at them.
My name is Daniel Sadowski and I'm the design director at Rebel Wolves. I would like to welcome you to the Blood of Dawnwalker Summer Game.
So already though, in the distance, we get a view of these mountains and the volumetric fog in the distance. But it doesn't necessarily look like we can go into these mountain ranges from what I see here. But it is a cool backdrop nevertheless.
Our game is a story-driven, open-world dark fantasy RPG set in medieval Europe.
The size of this city is monumental. Like if you look at Skyrim and look at the size of Whiterun and then look at this, I mean, this looks like an actual realistically sized city. It's got its own cathedral.
Is currently in pre-beta stage, and what we are going to show you is just a part of one of the mid-game quests.
So he does mention that we're at mid-game, and you can see here that there's 22 days left of the 1 month that you have. So you're only 8 days into the game, but yeah, he's calling it the mid-game.
It's a really cool story involving legendary swords and a haunted almshouse, but today we'll focus on showcasing our gameplay systems.
Cool.
We're starting on the outskirts of Svartro, the game's largest city and the capital of Vale Sangora. From here, we could head anywhere the eye can see. explore ancient ruins, or sabotage vampire blood transports.
There is a location 46 meters away that we haven't discovered, and then we've obviously got our objective over there. So I expect it to be a bit like The Witcher in terms of the map and the discovery, but we'll see how it looks when we find our first location.
But it's not just about where or when you go. It's also about how you approach the main quest and shape the story, making each playthrough uniquely your own.
I mean, that sounds cool.
For now, we're following the road. Cohen is on his way to the city's cathedral, chasing leads about a powerful weapon said to be hidden in its crypts. But first, we'll have to deal with some bandits who camped out by the main road. Traveling through Vale Sangora is never boring. The world is dense with quests, random encounters, and locations steep in lore. This will be a great opportunity to show you our combat system. Our goal was to make the player feel like a real swordmaster who closely observes his enemies. We'll begin this fight by using Acrid Dust.
We have a level 1 ability called Acrid Dust that we get to use on this guy, and it costs us like 1 point of adrenaline here. 10 seconds stun. I like that it kind of pauses to give you that tactical thinking time.
To stun one of the enemies.
Okay,
now,
cool.
When you attack, you choose one of 4 directions. Up, down, left or right.
So it's a bit like Kingdom Come Deliverance with the directional combat, but also like they've mixed it with Witcher 3's combat, with just how you kind of like wield the sword. It does seem like quite realistic for third person.
In order to hit the opponent where he's unable to parry. And similarly, when defending, you have to take note of the enemy's intent and the direction of the attack.
That's cool.
On the left side of the screen, just above Cohen's health, you have...
But if we pause here, you can already see this guy's attacking from overhead. And there's literally an icon here that says, hey, if you block from above and then you block it, he's trying to overhead swing again. So it's like block from above. And once again, he hits that block. And now when you hit that block, you can see you can counterattack here.
Above Cohen's health.
He loses stamina, so his stamina bar is red, and now he's like out of breath here during the combat.
On the left side of the screen, just above Cohen's health, you have activation charges that will be filled in with each successful attack, block, and parry.
You gotta do a bit of combat, use an ability, then go back to doing some more combat, but that's how you get your big damage.
Once they are full, you can use one of the active abilities which allow you to take a more tactical approach to fighting. We started the fight by throwing some acrid dust, and now let's cast Burning Blood. It's a hex which boils the enemy's blood and burns their skin, dealing physical damage over time.
Clearly one of the vampire abilities that you can still use during the day in human form, which is cool. Oh dude, that's sick.
Time to finish this fight. Let's use the final activation charge to cast the artery attack, which... Oh.
So now we get to look at the updated gameplay and just compare the two, because the first thing you'll notice is that the camera is now zoomed out from Cohen, and I think this is a massive improvement, especially when we enter combat. So we go down again towards the campsite here, and you can see the question mark on the location pop up on the top HUD there, and now you can see it's a campsite actually reveals itself. The next thing I noticed was all of these enemies kind of have better looking outfits. Their clothing flows better, the lighting also looks a bit better, and the combat here is much cleaner. Like, you can hear the clang and see sparks when those swords actually impact one another, which just made... Also, this guy over here actually does a power attack. So you see his health bar flashes red, and he kind of just runs up to Cohen, and then Cohen actually does the dodge maneuver here. And then he jumps backwards. So it's just cool to see how dynamic the fighting is and how these three guys are sort of approaching you. And then just look at how clean and the sound effects are with that. I mean, that's just fantastic.
Our hero quickly dispatched the bandits, so let's loot a few items they've left behind and open the inventory.
You didn't loot everyone,
First
though.
of all, let's replenish our health by eating something.
I've already spotted we have character, inventory, crafting, your journal, the map, Renacia's Court. I believe that's the vampire targets you have to kill. And there's also a lore sort of glossary section there. We also have a full armor outfit. We've got our coat, gauntlets, pants, boots, and rings. amulets and our weapon. You only have one weapon, unlike Geralt, who carries two. We have carry weight and gold here, and there's a bunch of different item categories, including potions.
Take a closer look at this cool-looking weapon we just picked up. It has better stats than our current weapons.
Oh, it's also quite realistic, so it does between 26 and 72 damage as opposed to just having a number. And it also has a 1% parry window.
Oh, let's equip it right now. The skills in the Blood of Dawnwalker are divided into 3 trees. One for human, one for vampire, and one shared between the two. We also have an active abilities panel. We can use it to unlock additional abilities to use during combat. Note that during the day, the health bar is not regenerating. You need to find consumables like the one we've just eaten. The hexes we've just used also consume some of Cohen's health. Be aware of that. The way our magic system works, there's always a price to pay for manipulating reality. But we can make it sting a bit less. Let's level up the Frugal Witchcraft skill, so next time we'll cast a hex, it'll consume fewer of Cohen's health points.
I like the idea that magic in this game is going to cost you something. It's not just this free unlimited resource that you get access to that replenishes.
Now that we've wrapped up the encounter with the bandits, we can be on our way to get inside the city. Now, Cohen hasn't done enough to ruffle the Vampire Lord's feathers, so the gods will just wave us through. But the more damage you cause, the more suspicious and aggressive they'll become. So when you play the game yourself, you'll have to decide whether you want to challenge the vampires openly, or lay low until you're ready to strike and surprise them.
That's cool. So depending on how you play the game, and if you're too obvious about your approach to kill them all, then you can make your playthrough harder.
It's even bigger than I remembered. And it's grander than before. They're putting in new stained glass. The Knyaz doesn't deny the old faith.
Out of my face.
Now, if we compare this to the new gameplay, obviously the zoomed out camera again looks fantastic. It lets you take in the open world a lot better. But then as you go into the city, I'll compare both in a moment, but there are way more people here. And the textures on the ground and the lighting and the detail just looks a lot sharper and better. I don't know if it's because they sent me a higher quality video feed, but you know, there's more people walking around. The town just seems way more alive than the gameplay I saw before. And this actually makes me a lot more hopeful for the final game. You'll also notice there's options to talk to some of these NPCs as we walk past. Another thing I did notice is that when you enter the town itself, these people are having the same conversation. So this is clearly a scripted conversation of when you get near the town. These people are just talking about the same thing. Also, the medieval armor on these guys is actually pretty accurate as well, with the chainmail and the gambeson, which gives it more grounded feeling and setting.
This is the rich district of the city, Silberkreis. There's also Altermarkt, Neustadt, and the Middens. Each of the boroughs has its own feel and character.
Get your stinking ass out of here.
I was just passing through, I swear. I got tired.
I don't know if you can go inside all these buildings, but I do like that there's people walking around this place. There seems to be like scripted dialogue.
I sat down and started begging.
Looming high over the city is Brancis's castle,
It's
Greifberg.
huge.
He took it over when he slaughtered the human ruler of the valley, Skender, as shown in the trailer we shared with you earlier in January this year. In order to complete the main quest and save your family, you'll have to storm the castle, alone or with help of friendly NPCs. We could do it right now if we wanted,
That's cool.
but it would be super challenging.
Yeah, obviously. I do like that there's an option to actually do it now, though.
Let's check the map. The cathedral is really close. There's plenty of other
Nice.
places to see and things to do here. A couple of inns, a medic, a blacksmith, an armorer, and other merchants.
Also, I noticed that there are fast travel signs just here, just like on The Witcher. It seems like that's what these are supposed to be. I don't know what these treasure map icons or spell shops. You've got the armorer, you've got tons of pubs. Like, what is with all the pubs? There seems to be like a ridiculous amount of them. The jewelry shop, medic, and maybe general merchants, blacksmiths. There's also locations out here we've not discovered in the mountains. A slight glimpse of the map. I do like the art style of it though.
You can see that not only the vampires came out of the shadows. This creature on the right is called an Uriash. Look around, especially at night, and you'll learn humans have lots to fear, not just the vampires.
Interesting.
And here we can see guards pounding on some poor guy's doors.
What is it about? You've been disrespecting the Yaz, singing songs that mocked him and the faith. Who told you this nonsense? Was it Livia? Open the door.
It's just one of many different community scenes we're implementing in the game. Watch them closely when you play, as they might point you to new quests
That's
and
cool.
hidden treasures, or signal changes in the game's world.
I love it when those little rumors and conversations actually have meaning in the game.
Again, I humbly beg of thee.
I humbly...
Ouch!
I don't want to say it, Mum.
It's a prayer. It's what we have to say. Go on.
I humbly beg of thee.
There's the new stained glass windows. Very vampiric.
Okay, we are at the Cathedral gates.
My god.
Again, since Cohen isn't yet wanted by the vampire regime, and it's daytime, we can simply walk inside.
No loading screens, that's cool. Oh, it's a cutscene. Very, like, seamless, though, how that just went. Who are these peasants?
The baptism of a newborn is a solemn moment, doubly so. A new life joins our flock, bringing happiness to its parents and to the congregation. Natus ex
Some blood.
sanguine est, alitur sanguine, et in sanguine morietur.
Bit creepy.
Ego te baptizo in nomine Dei. Amen.
Okay. Nothing like a blood baptism in the morning.
Don't I know you from somewhere, young man? Laslia, maybe.
That's right, you're mistaken. Okay, so there's
I'm
time
sorry, but you must be mistaken.
choices.
Am I? Perhaps. My memory isn't what it used to be. Come with me. I'll take your confession.
There's no need, or very well.
Thank you, but I have no need for confession.
Ah. So you deem your conscience clear?
Ah, that's how they get you. You must be busy, yeah.
I wouldn't go that far. But I'm sure you're a busy man, Father. So while I appreciate the offer, I feel that my soul shouldn't be your priority.
I won't press the matter. You are quite correct. I have many other duties to attend to. But please remember that in order to be saved, we all need to repent. Myself included. I hope we can speak again soon. Good day to you, Cohen.
Interesting, so he knows your name. Very curious. Also, how do you guys feel about the voice acted protagonist?
What we saw right here was just one of many cutscenes we recorded for the game, which smoothly transitioned into a dialogue scene.
Oh, that's
We
clever,
use
yeah.
cutscenes to highlight key scenes or showcase interesting bits of lore. Like this blood baptism. Creepy, isn't it? The core feature of the Blood of Dawnwalker is the dual gameplay loop. Remember, Cohen may be a human during the day, but he turns into a vampire at night and has a different set of skills at his disposal. And this is just one variable that affects our quests. Depending on when you tackle a particular quest, what choices you've made earlier, whom you befriended, or whom you've angered, your gameplay and story experience will be very, very different. So
That's
each
cool.
quest is a complex structure with multiple possible paths leading to the end goal. We maximize players' freedom and agency, offering you a narrative sandbox to play in. I
does sound
wonder
fun.
what secrets may be concealed up there, just beyond Cohen's reach. And how do we get there?
Indeed.
It's
how?
impossible to do during the day, but come night, it's an entirely different story. Let us explain what we mean by taking our current quest as an example. During the day, we got inside the cathedral without any problems, since it's open for all to see and Cohen doesn't yet stand out from the crowd. The scaffolds, though, are outside of his reach. But climbing them won't be a problem for the vampire, who has many more exploration abilities at his disposal.
Nice.
Bear in mind, Cohen has not completed the quest yet. What's more, there are still a few clues to be found in order to solve this story. It's worth mentioning that narrative sandbox also means that we may completely abandon this quest and follow a different path to defeat Brensis. For today, we're focusing on the gameplay part, so let's see how we could tackle this particular quest during the night.
So it's now nighttime. We're in the first section of nighttime, which is moonrise, and it's still day 22.
We're starting right after dusk, as a vampire, on the rooftops of Svatro. Right now, we have 22 days left to complete this goal. This counter is always displayed and you'll be warned each time it's pushed forward. So you have to be aware of the time, and it's more of a resource you'll be spending than a racing clock.
So it's kind of like you mentioned before, how you can't heal yourself during the daytime unless you go out and get food, and you need money for that. So there's probably like limitations as to how much you can progress each day. Or maybe, like you said, you need to become a vampire to do a certain thing or have a certain boss fight or access somewhere. And that requires you to wait until the next day to actually do that. So it's curious, though I don't like to tick down my time too quickly and feel like I'm missing out on the gameplay. That's my concern, you know?
As a vampire, you'll see and experience the world from a different perspective. You can travel quickly and easily access places beyond the reach of regular humans. Let us show you what we mean. This is Shadow Step, a unique vampiric ability allowing Cohen to jump to almost any place within his reach. Now, let's take a good look around using the focus mode.
Sick. You can smell it.
This ability highlights objects of interest and loot. And there is something right here.
Someone's been here and slain
This
him.
time, it's just some items to grab, but on other occasions, who knows, you might come across a hidden quest.
That's cool.
Looks like our health is quite low. This is because, as a vampire, your health bar also represents your hunger.
Really smooth jump, and then you can teleport from
Your
that.
health bar also represents your hunger level, and you start each night thirsting for blood. Remember, you have to quench this appetite in order to make full use of your vampire abilities, and rein in your monstrous nature around NPCs. Otherwise, you may end up draining someone important, which may lead to unpredictable consequences.
Oh, that's cool. So that kind of means that you can kill essential quest NPCs. And if you do that, I guess it's going to cut out some of the different narrative storylines or things that could have helped you on the main quest. But I usually like to play the game like that just to kind of see what happens.
We'd better feed them. Maybe on someone who is standing all alone. Like this drunkard.
He's not even noticed us.
Let's
fly
grab
up
him
to him.
and use Voracious Bite ability. Unless you lose control due to hunger, you get to decide how much blood to drink. You can drain just a bit and knock your victim unconscious, or go all the way and kill them.
Damn.
And if you're adamant you don't want to hurt innocent humans, you can drink from animals and some other creatures.
Why would you not want to hurt humans? I guess you could try really hard with your morality to never feed on a human. It's probably possible to just feed on animals for the entire game, like we saw the deer earlier. But why? Does the morality have a meaning or consequence? Kind of curious to hear more about that. I hate it how he doesn't loot
Finally,
anything.
we are at the cathedral, but it seems to be closed for the night, and the entrance gate is well guarded.
That
Let's
window's
find
open.
another way in.
Right through that window there, the really, really bright one. And those guards as well, are they going to question you if they see you walking around super sus-like? I guess we're not wanted yet, though, from what you told us before. But
Shadow
did they
Step is not
recognize
the
you?
only vampiric ability you're gonna learn during your playthrough.
Okay.
Cohen can also use plane shift to scale walls and even ceilings smoothly.
Bro. Look, oh, they're running away. They've reacted to you. That's
This
cool.
will allow us to explore every nook and cranny of the cathedral.
If I saw my man just running up a wall vertically like that, I would also run away. A little bit confused.
Blood to blood.
Better be quiet.
Ooh, that was cool. He kind of slowed himself down but when he fell down the wall there. As we look at the updated gameplay here, again, the lighting seems to be much better. Like, I can actually see what's going on, even though it's nighttime. So yeah, just really smooth. Again, you can appreciate the zoomed out camera angle while you're parkouring across the world. And then instead of sucking this guy's blood, this time we actually walk straight up to the cathedral. And yeah, that lighting's really nice. And then we can see the new running up the wall animation, and we see those peasants down there reacting to us again. You get a bit of a clearer view of it there, which is cool. But again, just like really cool details as we go down here.
Better be quiet.
That's sick.
Is that Voyeurs Xanthi? What the hell is she doing here? What is she doing? Is that a ritual for the blood gods?
Probably.
You shall want for nothing.
Nice subtle ways to show you things that you can interact with, and then Cohen has dialogue about it so you can like understand what's happening here.
They're covering up the old paintings. Why?
Bit of an investigator, a bit like Sherlock with Indiana Jones.
One of the workers must have left it. Seems that the cathedral complex is quite big. The main building, cloisters, inner courtyard. The entrance to the crypt could be anywhere. Won't get anything done just standing around. Still.
This was a scene investigation, a mechanic we used to zoom in on and showcase key clues. This time we had a chance to learn more about the vampire's plans.
That's cool.
Looks like they're keen to cover up the old frescoes, so that's something we could take a look at. This
Maybe it shows the vampire's weakness. Oh, dude, this is cool. This is like deep vampire lore. It's going to be a wooden stake.
take a look at. This way we could learn more about the cathedral's past.
Blood to blood.
Something into their hearts by the looks of it.
Looks like we aren't alone here. Underneath us there's a group of blood guards. Soldiers hooked up on vampire blood, which makes them stronger.
Wow, okay.
And one of Brances's vampire allies. It's Xanthi, the oldest vampire in Vale Sangora, and quite a powerful lady. Let's descend and check what's going on.
Oh, dude, yes. And you right into a cutscene. Pretty sure she can see you, though. It's like hiding behind a lamppost.
Don't think I don't see you skulking in the shadows. Come out. You're interfering with my task. Who are you?
Time to decide. Cohen, it doesn't matter. Didn't come here to talk.
It doesn't matter.
Very well. I don't have time for interruptions. Let us dispose of him. Quickly!
So these are the vampiric knights, and they look pretty epic with their masks and stuff.
Fascinating.
Cohen is using his claws to attack when in vampire form. Blood guards are dual-wielding opponents. Their attacks are pretty strong. Of course, even when fighting with claws, combat is still directional. Don't worry, Cohen can still use his sword as a vampire.
It's like a mix of Kingdom Come Deliverance, but actually much more fluid. I don't know what kind of different weapon options there are. Are there going to be like slow hitting weapons? Obviously you got the claws, which are really fast.
Don't worry, Cohen can still use his sword as a vampire.
Oh, that dodge too, the teleport dodge.
Only
That's
after
sick.
defeating all three of the blood guards, Xanthi deems Cohen worthy of a challenge, and she descends to face him. She uses her blood control powers to cast a multitude of attacks, like her blood whips that hit Cohen from left and right.
Can be in submission.
Xanthi is protected by a powerful vampire ability. Once her stamina runs out, Cohen will have an opportunity to strike and deal some damage.
Oh wow,
but be careful, because Xanthi
her.
is quick to counterattack, and she will also try to restore her blood. Meanwhile, look at the indicator just below her health and stamina. It's a timer for the boiling blood skill that you've seen in the CGI trailer. So, if we don't hurry, the timer goes down to 0, and Cohen will eventually explode.
Is that because we didn't have a
And
counter
we're
to
dead.
that?
Remember, we were only mid-game here, and Xanthi is one of the game's most punishing enemies.
Wow.
Defeating her right here and right now is very much possible, but it would be hellishly difficult. A fun challenge for hardcore players.
Love that it's possible.
Otherwise, we could load the game and explore the cathedral without drawing her attention. Or try to get to her while she's not surrounded by bodyguards.
Sure.
Xanthi, like all other vampire allies, has her own questline. Explore it, and you can learn more about her past, motivations, and maybe even try to reason with her.
Oh, so we could befriend
What you do
her.
is entirely up to you. Remember, our design principle is the narrative sandbox. There is no difference between main quests and side quests. There's
that.
just different stories that you weave together into your own unique adventure. But
Very cool.
that's coming in 2026.
Now, in the new gameplay showcase, we actually see Cohen instead entering the cathedral during the day and pressing the Abbey Deacon to explore the crypt. And there's a bunch of dialogue options you can go through to actually get to that point where he finally succumbs and says he'll let you explore the library for information if you help him out first. And then we also get to see some new gameplay inside the Almshouse Monastery as we battle some kind of mini boss in human form this time, which shows you how Cohen can get outplayed in his weaker human form versus these stronger vampires. I assume it's going to be harder fighting them as humans compared to being a vampire. It is though great to see how the developers are listening to people about the camera and combat changes, but I personally would love to see more of the open world exploration and gameplay. Like, I don't know if we have like a mount or a horse to travel around the world, or even how big the world actually is. I can see that there's fast travel points, so I know it's probably like a reasonable size. And I understand that you can just go straight to the ending and finish the game, but I'm also curious just how much game there is. Is it like a 30-hour game or longer or less? And as for the open world side content, can I go and explore all these campsites and ruins just at my leisure? I think it's pretty key that people fully understand that they're not going to be limited by this 30-day timer. Imagine if someone said to you, for example, like, okay, here's Skyrim, but you have 30 days to do the main quest. Do whatever else you want, but you have that 30-day ticking time bomb. It sounds horrible. No one wants to play an open world game like that. So I just think that they need to be even clearer with communicating to their audience that you only progress the time when you choose, because I kind of had to do a bit of digging and found like an interview where someone mentioned that this was kind of how it worked. He also described that time limit as a resource. I still don't fully understand what that means. So I'm kind of curious to hear more about that, and hopefully we get an update on exactly how that system works in their next gameplay showcase. I personally, once I get hands-on, I'll just share my impressions with you guys, but from what I know so far, that's like still a key thing that I'm kind of a bit concerned about. Let me know though if you got any other feedback or things you want to see in the comment section, because the developers will actually read it, which is great.